Beyond the safety concerns, there are enormous economic implications to the Toyota debacle. In 2008, Toyota sold nearly 9 million cars worldwide, with revenues of more than $250 billion. For more, we're joined by Edward Lincoln, the director of the Center for Japan-U.S. Business and Economic Studies at New York University. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
How big a blow will all of this be to Toyota's revenues?
They'll probably lose $1 billion or a couple $1 billion, maybe more. But as you just said, they're a very large company. They ought to be able to absorb this, assuming that they get through the problem fairly quickly and their sales go back up.
It's also an enormous company. I mean, it's one of the largest in Japan. What will these troubles mean for the economy?
Well, they are, in terms of revenue, the largest company in Japan, at least by a small margin. And this will be at least some blow. Do keep in mind this is a $5 trillion economy, so it's, even though it's a big company, it's not the whole economy. That said, exports from the manufacturing sector have been the driving force over the past decade in the Japanese economy, and so that is going to hurt.
Is this a company that can afford to have losses of $1 billion here, a couple of $1 billion here and there?
Yes, they can.
So this is not going to plummet. It's not going to. It's not going to go down. It's not sinking.
It is definitely not going to go down. This is a company that managed to get through all the troubles in Japan in the 1990s without ever having an annual loss. They did lose money this past year, but they can afford to do that for a period of time.
And just put it in some context for us, given all of the things that have been going on in the auto industry, not in Japan, but also in the United States and in other parts of the world. How does that sort of fit into all of the aggravation that's going on right now?
Well, I'm not sure about the aggravation. I would say the biggest issue here is that it begins to change images about various different companies. For the last 30 years, Toyota has been the icon of high-quality Japanese cars, and people complained about the big three car companies and that they couldn't measure up. Well, this is a blow to that reputation that the Japanese have acquired over time. Who knows, maybe it shifts the market in the U.S. Away from Toyota and back toward American, the big three car companies for a period of time.
And just very briefly, does Toyota's troubles have implications for the U.S. auto industry?
Well, mainly, unfortunately for Toyota, a good implication that, again, it may shift demand toward the U.S. auto companies. On the other hand, I keep wondering whether we are looking at a new regulatory environment in the Obama administration where the Transportation Department is actually going to be a little tougher on following up on safety issues. If that's the case, it's not just Toyota that they're going to attack. We may find them being just as aggressive if something like this were to happen with a GM, Ford, or Chrysler car.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.